All right, so basically all I did here was I smashed all this out. I had some lines here that froze and burst. So I just cut those ones off and then just routed from the end of this loop all the way over to this loop. And now all I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna fill this back in with concrete. It's not gonna look super nice, but it'll do the job. Basically all I'm using is I'm gonna use just some Portland cement. For the aggregate, I'm actually gonna use the chunked up concrete that I took out of this hole. I wouldn't recommend that, actually. I don't usually recommend anything, but I would recommend that. But for a small patch, it's just easier. And then I just went down to the beach and grabbed some sand as well. So I've got the sand in here. So I'm just gonna mix everything up, start pouring. I mixed the sand with the Portland cement to get an even distribution of cement to sand. The sand was a lot wetter than I thought, and the mixture turned to soup. This was more water than I would have liked, but I was in it this far, so I just went with it. After mixing the aggregate in, I scooped the concrete into the hole. I used an offcut as a screed board and floated the concrete smooth. The first batch wasn't enough to fill the hole, so I mixed a second batch. I needed more water, so the consistency was similar to the first batch. This makes the concrete easier to work with, but causes shrinkage and cracking going forward. I'm not really concerned by that because it's not going to look that great regardless. I somehow managed to mix the exact amount that I needed, so there was very little excess concrete to dispose of. I just want to take a moment and say thanks to everyone who watches my videos and supports my projects by purchasing the plans I offer. You've probably noticed my videos don't have ads, and I'd really like to keep it that way. So thanks to those of you who've purchased the plans and subscribed to my channel. Liking and subscribing is an easy and free way to support what I'm doing because it allows the algorithms to see that viewers are interested. Anyway, after the concrete was floated, I covered the area with a plastic tarp to prevent the concrete from drying out. I came back a few times while the concrete was curing to float the cream to the surface and recovered the area to allow the concrete to cure for 3 days. When the concrete was sufficiently cured, I put some stuff away in the places I thought I might want them to be. The concrete is still green, giving it that dark color, but it'll lighten up over time. Okay, so I got the concrete done and the painting's basically done. I haven't done the ceiling yet. I'm just kind of procrastinating on that. But I'm still trying to kind of work out how I'm gonna lay out this wall, and you can't see here. Let me just pull you out a bit here. Let's see if you can see this. Yeah, so I'm still trying to work out how I'm gonna do this wall. I don't know if I'm gonna keep this thing or tear it down. It's still kind of a dumping ground. And then I've got all that plywood and 2x4s and stuff that I'm putting over there. I'm kind of trying to come up with another way to store that stuff. So I think this is kind of the layout that I want. Like, I got the sort of workbench. I'm gonna pull the workbench all the way across here. My table saw is gonna go here. And I'm gonna do that as an outfeed table along there. My miter saw is gonna be here, kind of in the window well a bit. And then storage underneath. And the thing I like about this table saw here is that if I need to do a quick cut, I can just use this, and I can use the workbench behind it maybe as an outfeed table. But if I need to make larger cuts, because it's on wheels, I can just pull this around anywhere I want. Now, wheels is a good thing, is another point. I'm gonna put this on wheels so that I can move the workbench around, and I may put all of the cabinets on wheels as well, but I haven't quite figured that out. Layout and storage is a difficult thing for me as well. This is part of the reason why I'm doing this whole thing. So I'm gonna bring you back over to this wall. And I've got these storage totes, which are really handy. I do a lot of work outside of my workshop. I've got buildings in another town, and the thing about these is I've got a paint one, an electrical one, a plumbing one, and fasteners and that sort of thing. I just grab throw them in my trailer and I go. When I'm in the shop though, I do need to get at these at times, and if I need to get at the bottom one, I gotta move this one to get at that one. But then now I need to get at that one, so I gotta move these back. And now I can get, anyway, you can see how it kind of goes. So I'm kind of coming up with a solution to work around that, and that's gonna be coming up in the next video. I haven't had anybody tell me, what town that is. I got screwed to the wall now. What town that is. One person guessed Milwaukee. Pretty good guess, but it's not Milwaukee. Good guess because I'm giving away a Milwaukee driver set. Not a good guess because it looks like Milwaukee. I don't know what Milwaukee looks like. But because I haven't had very many responses, I'm gonna sweeten the pot. Got a Miller Lite wrench bottle opener. I'll throw that in as well. Yeah, so I'm gonna work on this storage thing. I'm gonna work on the layout of all this stuff, and yeah, check it out in the next video. See ya.